Welcome to a broadcast of the recent Lorain County Commissioners' General Meeting. Unless otherwise announced, meetings are held Wednesday morning at 9:30 at the Administration Building, 226 Middle Avenue, 4th floor, downtown Elyria. These are public meetings and you are invited to attend. Agendas are posted prior to the meeting at www.loraincounty.us. Click on Departments to see the Commissioners page, then click on View Agenda.
Good morning. Could we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning. Welcome to Lorain County Board of Commissioners, Wednesday, March 28th, 2018 board meeting. Mr. Lundy.
Our inspirational words for this morning, do not use harmful words, but only helpful words, the kind that build up and provide what is needed, so that you say you will do what you will do to those who hear you.
I get the dog. Come here, look that way, let everybody see you. Our featured dog this week is about a 3-year-old pit mix. He was found in Lorain. He's available for adoption today. He's going to make somebody a great dog. He's just got a great personality and lovable. We have 31 other dogs if he isn't quite your type. So stop by and see us at the county dog kennel. Come on, you ready? Madam Clerk?
We have a proclamation for the retirement of David O'Connor.
Should we do that first?
If you like.
David, come on up. It's your swan song, your 15 minutes of fame.
Over there.
Microphone. We're going to let you talk after I do this, okay? We have a proclamation today in the matter of expressing our appreciation and best wishes to David O'Connor on his retirement from Lorain County Board of Commissioners office. David announced his retirement as Budget Specialist 3 effective March 31st of this year. David's been with us for 24 years. He was hired by Lorain County Human Services in 1994 and transferred to the Commissioner's office in 2000. David is a precise, dependable employee that balances budgets, and whereas his sense of humor with working associates and good ice cube making will be greatly missed. Now therefore be it resolved, we hereby express appreciation for the faithful, conscientious, and rewarding service given by David O'Connor to Lorain County and its citizens. We wish David and his wife Lori the best of happiness, peace, and good health to be enjoyed throughout his retirement. May Dave continue to enjoy spending time on the golf course and having time to accomplish anything he desires. Witness our signatures the 28th of March, 2018. Ted Kalo, Matt Lundy, and Lori Kukowski. Now that your hips are better, you can spend more time on the golf course.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Go ahead, David, a few minutes.
No, I really don't say is, I guess what most people say is you don't really miss the job, but you're going to miss the people you work with.
Yeah.
And that's probably what I'm going to miss the most. So thank you.
Well, good. We appreciate your service, David. Here you go.
Do you want to tell us what the ice cube making is all about?
He's the only one that does it.
You're the only one that does it? Oh.
No one else makes the ice
Because he
cubes.
uses them all.
Okay, you bet, Dave.
Hey, Dave.
Congratulations.
Madam Clerk.
We have 2 appointments today for presentations, 9:45 OSU Extension Update and 10 o'clock Second Harvest Food Bank. Under Resolutions Number 1, Investments.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Mr. Kayla.
Aye.
Mr. Lundy.
Aye.
Ms. Kowski.
Aye.
Appropriations.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Mr. Kayla.
Aye.
Mr. Lundy.
Aye.
Ms. Kowski.
Aye.
Transfers.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Mr. Kayla.
Aye.
Mr. Lundy.
Aye.
Ms. Kowski.
Aye.
No advances, no repayments, requisitions.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Mr. Kayla.
Aye.
Mr. Lundy.
Aye.
Ms. Kowski.
Aye.
Travel.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Mr. Kayla?
Aye.
Mr. Lundy.
Aye.
Ms. Kowski?
Aye.
Bills?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Mr. Kayla?
Aye.
Mr. Lundy.
Aye.
Ms. Kowski?
Aye.
Authorize various personnel actions as indicated on the summary sheet for employees within the jurisdiction of Lorain County Commissioners.
Mr. Cordez?
Good morning, Commissioner. I do have a few potential hires I'd like to talk over with the board, more specifically in maintenance and custodial collection center. Also, still a pending legal matter and pending sale of real estate. All those topics are allowed under the Sunshine Act for executive session discussion, so I'd ask at the conclusion of our regular board meeting, we go into executive session and talk about those matters that I've stated. Thank you.
Thank you.
Approve and waive the meeting minutes of March 21st.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Mr. Kayla?
Aye.
Mr. Lundy.
Aye.
Ms. Kowski?
Aye.
Urge
Can we hold on to number 10 till after Julie does her presentation? Okay. Come on, you don't mind?
Nope.
Okay, thanks.
Enter and agree with Barber and Hoffman, Inc., Cleveland, amount of $51,000 to perform engineering services per parking garage.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Mr. Kayla?
Aye.
Mr. Lundy.
Aye.
Ms. Kowski?
Aye.
Approve change order number 8 to Moser Construction, amount of $14,961 for labor and material needed to support the first floor for drilling, rigging crane outside to drill elevator jack hole for the historic courthouse renovation project.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
Boy, this has been a project. Mr. Cordez, you want to talk about how we had to replace the shaft for the old courthouse? And they had to make us a drill bit?
Thought you were going to ask me about the fallen down garage, but you didn't. Well, you know, we talked about this earlier. This is just the finishing piece of it. It's done. This is a catch-up because we had to reinforce the floor to be able to get the drilling rig in and then down into the elevator shaft, and we had to rig all of this so it didn't collapse the floors and et cetera, et cetera. But we have a hydraulic elevator. We had to have a custom-built new elevator. We had patches on the elevator, and the electronics were and the programming for that. It was no longer a usable, really, elevator for much, especially going into the future. So we had one designed, not the hydraulic one, but they were going to use the hydraulic pistons from the old one. That's what you usually do to save some costs. So as soon as we got the elevator done and we were doing our test, we had a small pinhole leak develop in the cylinder. So that meant taking the elevator hydraulic shaft out to replace it, which is a big job in itself and very costly. We've done them both in this building on these elevators a couple of years back. Well, when we took the cylinder out, there was no sleeve on the hole, and the hole backfilled on itself. I don't know why they didn't install a sleeve when they put the elevator in 50 years ago. It kind of defies logic, but so we had to re-drill the hole, and this time it's been sleeved, so in 50 years when they replace the elevator, they won't have this problem. But it's unfortunate, but we knew it wasn't sleeved once we went down there to take it out, but we were hopeful that the hole wouldn't cave in on itself, and it did. So.
Like Alice in Wonderland, down the rabbit hole.
Well, you know, it's when you work in an old building and you're working around physical limitations with the structure that you can't change, it becomes very, very challenging. Historical renovations are a real problem. Although we didn't do historical renovations on the inside per se, we still had all of those solid sandstone walls and everything to deal with, so those limitations were a problem. I can only tell you that I think the problems are over. We're pretty close to the end of the road right now. We haven't found Jimmy Hoffa under the foundation yet. And we did a lot of more work than we anticipated. For example, when they upgraded the boilers back probably 18, 20 years ago, we only needed half the amount of boilers because we used P-fied high efficiency boilers, but never ripped the old ones out. They just left them down in the equipment room. All that's been cleaned up, all that's been taken out. And you know the problems we've had with the bathrooms and caving in walls, and it just went on and on and on and on. So this hopefully is the last one you'll see of this nature. I can't imagine anything else happen, but now that I've said that, sooner or later, you know, something will happen. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
Mr. Kayla?
Aye.
Mr. Lundey?
Aye.
Ms. Kowski?
Aye.
911, enter in a contract with AK Associates New Hampshire, in the amount of $1,000 per month for time and material to maintain the ECS 1000 through April 1st through June 30th, 2018.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Cordez, why do we have the new consultant?
Well, they're not really new, and they're not, they've been around for a while. There's that company out of Tennessee.
New Hampshire.
They may have a parent.
Yeah,
It's just the people,
corporate, right.
We have that HAL 2000 over there, we like to call it, the ESC that went down, took on 911 down over that weekend. We only have one. When we've discovered that, as we've spoken out here before, that's when we set about building a new 911, completely ground up new system. But I don't feel comfortable that we have enough local resources. These are the people they were calling, and I couldn't get anybody on site within a reasonable time. And I was very discouraged to find out that we don't have them under contract for that kind of response. And I want to have them under contract until the new system is up and running and we're no longer using the ECS 1000 even as a backup. And I just need that comfort feeling. I think we need that comfort feeling. We weren't down hard for very long, but our capabilities were diminished over a longer period of time than I find even remotely acceptable. So these folks will get to us a lot faster. These are the folks that worked on this and got it up for us after everything else failed. And you can see they're going to do remote monitoring and looking at that all the time. So they'll be sensing if there's issues with it or seeing there's developing issues with it hopefully long before it goes down. I don't expect it to go down again, but it's an old piece of equipment and it's obsolete. So we only have a few more months. I anticipate doing the ribbon cutting and balloon launch, everything over at the new center sometime in June. Probably start using the center, I hope, in July, because we have training. We have quite a bit of training to do. Our completion date is coming up here rapidly with most of the work, and then we'll be doing some of the nice stuff inside. But all the construction, cabling, wiring, everything should be done by the end of April.
Wonderful.
It's
Money well spent, though.
It was, quite frankly, for the cost of what we pay for some of these contracts, I found this one to be fairly reasonable.
Well, question in regards to this, once we open the new center, our old center becomes our backup.
Correct. But the backup's being completely rebuilt, too.
So there'll be no need for this antiquated piece of equipment anymore.
Correct. We're going to take the HAL 1000 there, HAL 2000, we want to call it, and we're going to chuck it out the window.
Okay. Or send it to the Smithsonian.
Well, no, Erie County sold theirs for $1.98 on gov.deals or something. So if we were smart, we would have bought it, but I didn't know it was there. So just from a point of explanation, as we're teasing a little bit here, the primary center will be there'll be a complete backup to that on the new equipment at the current location. Won't be as extensive, but there'll be duplication of every system. In some respects, there'll be triple on a few things. So I don't believe that what occurred a few weeks ago can occur again. We have redundant everything. And in some of those critical systems, we put a redundancy to the redundancy. Sure. Now, can I promise you it'll never happen? It's in the world of electronics and clouds and virtual this, and I don't think people realize how much computer hardware absolutely supports all of this, and it does some weird stuff sometimes. But I think that it's more remote possibility that will occur. And then, of course, we have all new radio equipment, too. And that's all being installed. And that's been an ongoing problem, too, with the different banding of the frequencies in Lorain County and people not being able to talk to each other or stepping on each other. So we're preparing for the next push through the Board of Commissioners. As I told you, I'm looking right now for a consultant to work with the fire chiefs and the police chiefs to do something that was supposed to happen when Homeland Security funds came into the county back in the, was it mid-2000s?
Right.
And that is to get everybody agreeing to certain radio equipment and operations and get some standardization across the jurisdiction, because it doesn't exist now and it's a mess. So we've been able to do some of that with the software that we've put in. We put in the GPS system. We put in the 911 alert system, which we like to refer to as the reverse 911. We brought everybody on, almost everybody under those umbrellas. There's still a few rogues running around out there, but they're not many. And saved the community hundreds of thousands of dollars by using, everybody using the same and getting under the same umbrella. An example, one jurisdiction was paying $0.25 a month per resident
We're
for.
paying 5 cents.
And now they're paying 5 cents. And it doesn't sound like a lot when you say $0.25 and 5 cents, but when you're talking about a couple, tens of thousands of residents every month, it's pretty amazing amount of savings.
Well,
So-
actually, the city manager from Oberlin last week when we were at the luncheon for their State of the City spoke about that, what the savings and costs and partnering with the county.
Because they had Code Red before.
Excuse me?
They had Code Red.
Yeah, there was a little bit of an issue there. Their fire chief liked the Code Red. They were late to come over, but upon his retirement, I believe that they saw a cost advantage to coming with us. I was out with the city manager there last night, talking about a couple other collaborations that we can enter into. So there's going to be more coming. It's a long explanation on a small thing here, but I still want this, even though we're very close to the finish line on our new system, until this is completely turned over to the new system. And of course, we'll be abandoning the backup, which is currently located out in one of the buildings out of Golden Acres. And you were out there, you saw that equipment out there. It's not a very pleasant area. Where we got it's small, it's cramped. So we'll have a state-of-the-art operation. We'll have a very, very creditable backup. And then we'll move on to the other issues of the radios and working with everybody in Lorain County to fix that problem.
You may want to let other communities know that we're going to be disposing of our ECS 1000 to see if somebody out there is still using that equipment and may need it as a backup.
I got a couple Dixie cups and a few strings in there, too.
Well, I mean,
I'm just
we've been
kidding.
using it all this time, so
I'm
there
just
may be
kidding.
others out there, too.
We'll certainly send it out, but most people are moving to the next generation equipment, but if somebody wanted, obviously we could do that. And I was only kidding about throwing it out the window. But I would like to do that, but.
We want to continue to thank the taxpayers of Lorain County for supporting the 911 levy to make everything possible that's so important for the safety of the residents. Thank goodness some folks didn't heed the call of some folks who said to vote against that levy, which would have jeopardized the safety of families here in Lorain County. But it's really important to support 911. We're trying to upgrade the technology. I think it was within the past week, and I think it was in Baltimore, Maryland, that somebody actually hacked into their system, and it was down. So, anytime you have technology, you're going to have issues.
Well, as I said, there's a lot of underpinnings that are remote. The new equipment will be monitored by the company. They constantly run tests and checks on it to make sure it's operating at the way it's supposed to operate and performing the way it's supposed to perform. So anytime you have anything that's a tentacle out, it also can be used to get in.
Right.
And I can only follow the experts. It's not in my wheelhouse to understand all of that, but I think we have the proper safeguards. But you're right, they're hacking everything these days. And hence, we have a redundancy, and we can move to the redundancy. We have a problem there, so we won't be needed.
Madam Clerk?
Mr. Kayla?
Aye.
Mr. Lundey?
Aye.
Ms. Kowski?
Aye.
Airport approved agreement with Richland Engineering Limited in an amount of $24,068 for engineering services for signing and lightning improvements. This is funding for fiscal 18 ODOT and reimbursed 95%, 5% local.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Mr. Kayla?
Aye.
Mr. Lundey?
Aye.
Ms. Kowski?
Aye.
Can we back up on that for 1 minute?
Sure.
We need Richland to get our federal money for our maintenance. We need to prepare what we want to do at the airport, and that needs to be submitted so that the FAA gives us funds. Airport's always problematic in some people's minds, so again, all this money be rolled back into the money we get from the FAA. You can see it's I think it references the 95.5
Right,
there.
it's $1,200 local money.
But without doing this stuff, we can't apply for the funds. They just don't give us money and say, go do what you want. When I say maintenance, they decide what maintenance we're doing. We don't decide. And it's not for cutting the lawn, painting the fence.
Right.
It's maintenance on the taxiways, runways, striping, lighting, et cetera. It's very restricted, and this is that money that every year we take this money because we don't have this money to do this work, even though we're required to do it. And then, of course, we owe the FAA 20 more years of operations. So
Deal with the devil, man.
Well, just so you know, and so once we get more funding, it's another 20-year relationship from the date of that funding. Well, actually, from the spending that funding.
Airport crack.
Excuse me?
Airport crack.
Yeah, poor crack. That's good.
Under sanitary, authorize sanitary engineer, prosecutor, administrator to negotiate an amendment and enter an agreement with Northeast Ohio Regional Sewer District to accept a new 39-lot subdivision along Sprague Road, Columbia Township, which will extend the sanitary sewer service from Olmsted Township, Cuyahoga County to proposed subdivision.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
There was some questions yesterday. I think Commissioner
Yeah,
Koski
you answered
spoke
my
to you on
question.
it.
Yep.
This, we lack a sewer on Sprague Road. All you have to do is drive down Sprague Road. Looks north, you see a lot of development, nice homes going in, some pocket developments that are, I would say, affluent. Then you can drive a little deeper, and you can see some nice apartments, very, very nice builds back in there. If you go south, all you see is some ruddy junkyards and some old farmland and some beat-up homes for the most part. That's because there's no sewer on the south side. The north side has sewers. That's Cuyahoga County. What most people don't know that drive out there is that the border runs right down the middle of Sprague Road between Cuyahoga and Lorain County. It's like day and night on the north side and the south side. This development will be on the south side, and this sewer will go across Sprague and tap into the sewers vis-a-vis to get where we're going. But eventually we need to look at bringing the sewer down. It's about a $3 million bill to bring the big sewer down onto Sprague Road and bring it across so that we can see proper development along Sprague on the north side of Columbia Township. Right now, there's just not enough residential build there to get Northeast Ohio Regional to be entertaining the idea of partnering to pay for part of that sewer to bring it down there. We have to demonstrate a bigger customer base. That requires different density up there and different lot sizes so we can get the density. Right now, with the density requirement up there, I don't know where we're going to get a sewer because I can't demonstrate that there's a potential for enough buildable lots.
There's not a customer base for it.
Correct. But one of the things we're going to do with this smaller subdivision is it's going to be understood that if we ever do get that sewer down there, that we'll be detached from that piece going north and then go on to hopefully one day a main trunk sewer going down Sprague Road so that things develop correctly. This was a lot better option than trying to put another dry sewer in and then having bigger lots so that they can have on-sites. And that density is just ridiculous for thinking where we're going to get a sewer. So it's just not just the sewer that's costly. We have to really work with the township on figuring out, because we looked at the new plan up there and the density still isn't strong. The density that's allowed still is not strong enough to support building a big sewer up there. So that's one of the problems with that push. And if we don't see that, we're going to see annexation. And that's just the way that's going to go. So.
Did you ever look in to see if you could do township to township?
I did not.
Oh.
I did not have an opportunity to do that. But again, all you got to do is just drive down, look north, look south, and you'll see the big differences in what's being built out there. So, well, we're hopeful for that area. And of course, before you and I leave, we got to get that sewer on 82.
82 in Beaumont, that's all I
Because
want to do.
once again, you can leave Strongsville and drive into Lorain County, and you can see the demarcation line there on those industrial parks.
Said it for a decade, man.
And, I've worked as much as I can trying to get something from Strongsville, and what they want is potentially annexation down 82. They don't want to give us a sewer agreement because, they just won't do it. So we have to get our Redford Road sewer down and get it down Boone Road or where it's going to go and get it down there onto 82. So we can see some good development along that corridor. That should be more of an industrial area down there than it is. So that's it for today. Thanks.
Thanks.
Mr. Kayla.
Aye.
Mr. Lundey.
Aye.
Ms. Kowski.
Aye.
Clerk Courts approved First Amendment to lease for Lorain Title Office. Said amendments to reflect the correct address of 621 Broadway Avenue, Lorain, not 611 Broadway Avenue,
Agreed.
Lorain, corrected by the City of Lorain Engineering Department.
So moved.
Second.
How does that go on for so long that they have the wrong
I have
address?
no
That's crazy.
Mr. Kayla.
Aye.
Mr. Lundey.
Aye.
Ms. Kowski.
Aye.
We'll go to our first
Yeah.
Yes,
presentation.
please.
Kyle White, the OSU Extension update.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I have brought my esteemed colleague Ann Shannon with me today.
You need to get closer, otherwise, yep,
Yes, okay.
there you go.
I have brought my esteemed colleague Ann Shannon, our agriculture natural resources educator, and we are ready for our presentation. Okay. First of all, we want to thank the commissioners. We want to thank you for your generous support this year, and we want to explain to you and share with you how your funds are being used to impact Lorain County. Also, I did give each of you a packet. Some of this information is about training that we have been undertaking in our STEM program for our own staff. And as you read through it, you're going to see that our own staff have been conducting training sessions at the state level because we have got excellent people here that are delivering great educational programs. I'm going to start, and it's funny because I think this is a very good dovetail with the next presentation. We do a lot of work with SNAP in our office, and I wanted to briefly explain in short that SNAP, and this is a very abbreviated definition, is a free nutrition and education program to prevent obesity, and it is an educational program that we deliver in the schools. The impact of this program so far this year, we work with 2,025 students every single week. And each of these children have received classes from us over a 6-week period, or a curriculum of 6 classes. The demand for this program is growing in Lorain County. We have had requests more than what we can actually deliver. And right now we have 4 instructors. But here's an example, and I'll tell you what, I can't read this, but I can give you in summary what it says. We had a 2nd grader who was really excited to see our instructor come in this year, ran up to her and said he had learned so much that he had taken it back home and talked to his parents, and they no longer drink sugary drinks. They drink water and milk and juice. His parents will drink coffee and tea. However, they are drinking a lot of milk and juice. And he also could basically repeat back what he had learned in his classes the previous year. So this is a success. Not only are the children learning, but they're taking it home, and the parents are adopting it in the home, and we're very excited to share that. These are the stories we want to continue to bring to you. Anne, would you like to share a little bit about ag and natural resources?
As you're well aware of the impact of agriculture in our county, in terms of crop production, it's about 160 million, about 18 million in terms of livestock, and that's coming out of about 768 farms locally. So far this year, I've delivered programming for our farmers to the tune of about 150 people coming for our pesticide applicator training, which allows them to maintain their accreditation for applying restricted pesticides. I've also provided education to our local community members on plant pathology, on plant hormones. I did a class on preparing your tools for spring. And we have many more programs coming in the weeks and months ahead. And what is our impact? Our impact is to bring unbiased research-based education to our community. And just as an example of this, out of my pesticide applicator training, I had an individual come to me and said, I have this new weed, it's invading he has a berry operation here in Lorain. I can't control it, I don't know what to do. I went out, I got samples. I was then able to take them to one of our state researchers. We've since identified it and developed a program to support his berry operation. So that's just one possible example of the impact we bring. I myself have had 12 years of research experience. I also come from a family farm background, so I can sort of speak both languages and bring the people together.
All right, and my background is community development, and I'm working with Jerry Good. What we want to do is bring some of the resources from OSU to Lorain County. I can tell you we're discussing an economic impact study regarding the Oberlin Air Traffic Control Center. And we have also, I'm working on many committees at the state level, and I'm interested in bringing some additional programming to this county. I'd like to talk to you about that perhaps privately first, but we have some great opportunities here. Another opportunity that I bring is I was tapped at the state level to be trained by the USDA on the Small Business Innovation Research grants that they offer annually. And these grants offer $100,000 in the first 8 months for a concept to be developed, and then if you get a Phase 2 grant from that, you can receive up to $600,000 for 24 months. These grants are supposed to be used to for innovative ideas that will be commercialized eventually. So when Ann and I were at the farmer breakfast where we had the pleasure to see some of you, I was talking to many of the people there and saying, keep your eyes open because I'm going to be conducting training, and then my job is also to mentor and coach people through the whole process, because it can be daunting. It's government. It's a very daunting process. But if we can, but our goal is to have many winning proposals from Ohio this year. And obviously based in Lorain County and Medina County, I'm going to be spending a lot of time working in these counties to bring this to fruition. Our 4-H STEM program is very successful. This is a summary of some of the things we've done. We're in 12 schools, and we've had 38 school visits, reaching 278 students conducting different STEM activities from the OSU STEM curriculum. We also are working with ETAS and Save Our Children, and we have reached so many different children, and the skills that they're learning are problem solving and critical thinking, and how to work around an issue or a problem in an unconventional way. And they think it through, and they practice, and they're excited to come to these events. As far as other ways that we deliver this, it's through libraries. We've had several programs at the libraries. We've partnered with camps that are asking us to come out to churches and so forth to deliver STEM activities, events that we've attended, and I'll talk about that in a minute. And at the Lorain County Fair, we also had a tent there, and we had STEM activities, and kids were really, I think we worked with over 500 children, and we had the glasses for the eclipse. So parents couldn't get them. It was only for students, so the children had to share with their parents. We have upcoming programs with the Lake Erie, or the Cleveland Monsters. It's a STEM camp basically at the Q, and children in Lorain County, not just 4-H youth, are invited. Last year we had over 200 from Lorain County that came and participated in multiple 4-H activities and then got to see the monsters play. This year the game is going to be on April 8th. And we also partner with the Crushers and their education days. And last year we worked with over 4,000 students. We expect over 5,000 this year at this event. We also have a Tech Wizards program. If you're familiar with that, it's a mentoring program where we bring adults together with youth to, again, work on different types of STEM activities, and you're going to see some of those activities in your packet, some Arduinos, and if you don't know what an Arduino is, give me a call. And with our 4-H program, we have over 60 4-H clubs, over 1,100 members. There's so many projects I can't even begin to tell you. But as you know, it teaches leadership, responsibility, life skills, and interpersonal skills that the youth carry with them throughout their adult years. This is a very bad picture, but it's our Kelly's Island camp last year, and our dates this year are July 2nd through the 8th, and this is again for the older youth, but we also have a Clover Bud camp for the little ones, ages from kindergarten through 2nd grade. Last year we had 58 campers. It's a 2-day camp experience, and it's just really fun. And this year it's June 19th and 20th. The impact of these initiatives, again, focusing back on studies and research, what we're hearing over and over again is many of the jobs as we know them now today in 10 years are going to not exist as they do today. And the youth are going to have to, all of us are going to have to continue to learn for the rest of our lives new skills, apply new skills, problem solving, and critical thinking. So I've taken a couple of quotes from a recent study conducted at OSU, and we just want to tell you that you have invested in something that is going to help the youth as they grow older and they continue to learn. They're not thinking of it as a chore, they're thinking of it as a responsibility, and it will be fun. There are many ways to learn that are fun. So we just cannot thank you enough for supporting us. And we will come back every quarter because our goal is to wow you. Thank you.
You wowed us, I think.
You did a very good job, yes, very nice, thank you.
Nice job.
Yeah, I just want to, thank my colleagues. I mean, this board really stepped up to make a significant investment in the 4-H to fill an important hole that would have been there had we not stepped up. And we just think there's so many merits to 4-H, and can't thank you enough for all that you're doing.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Madam Clerk?
Is Juliana
Yep.
here?
Yep.
Okay, Second Harvest Food Bank.
Good morning, Julia.
My fellow bagger.
Yeah, your fellow bagger.
She's good at it.
Okay.
Well, I want to thank you very much for allowing me to come out and talk about Second Harvest and also considering the resolution for SNAP, which we consider to be critically important to the work that we do and certainly to the residents of Lorain County and Ohio as well. So Second Harvest has been serving the community for 36 years. You can see the information up there in terms of how long we've been serving and the work that we do. We're the largest social service agency in the region. We have an annual budget of $11.5 million, including the value of the food that we distribute, which is significant. And then our mission, which we recently updated, and we're talking about growing hope, and that's something that we see as being critically important by creating pathways to nutritious food within our community. And the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program has always been one of those pathways. It is the cornerstone of hunger relief. It has created security within our community and within residents who struggle. We have about 47,000 people within Lorain County who struggle with food insecurity, and 37,000 of those are receiving benefits through the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, also known as food stamps, commonly known as food stamps. So we want to make sure that it is very clear how important this program is. We find that people who are living below 130% of poverty tend to be more food secure. And the reason they're more food secure is because of the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. The people that we see most often at food pantries are actually between 130 and 200% of poverty. So a lot of needs are being met through this Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, and we see this as being critical, because a large portion of who are served are kids. Just under 16,000 children are food insecure within Lorain County. And if you look at the free and reduced lunch numbers within the school districts, it is significant, the number of kids being served. And I know there was a lot of recent stories on, what happens when school's out and the kids who receive free and reduced lunch. They rely on those meals just as much as they rely on the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program to help meet their food needs. Because children who don't receive the proper nutrition don't grow into productive adults. Poverty is a cycle. And so if we can make sure that kids receive food, then we can help to break that cycle. So this is a little bit about Second Harvest and the work that we do, how the food flows into our facility. We work with local retailers, donors, national manufacturers. We are a recipient of the federal and state food commodity programs. Roughly half of the food distributed by Second Harvest is through federal and state food commodities. It comes into our facility, which is on the west side of Lorain, in the city of Lorain. It goes out to distribution. We have 47 food pantries within Lorain County. There are 28 hot meal programs. We do farmers markets. We do mobile food pantries. In fact, there's a mobile food pantry this afternoon at the VFW on Overland Avenue from 4 to 6 for anybody who needs assistance today. But what our goal is we want a hunger-free community. We want to know that no matter where someone goes, when someone needs food within this community, that they have a place with which to get it. And that can be through our programs, but it can also be through free and reduced lunch program. It can be through summer food service program, and most especially it can be through the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. These are some of the initiatives that Second Harvest works on. We have farmers markets, mobile food pantries. We do senior food box program, which is also slated to be cut within the president's budget. The commodity supplemental food program is a federal program. We distribute 1,200 boxes every month to seniors below 130% of poverty. It is slated to be completely cut out of the president's budget currently. And there are seniors who truly rely on this. We work with a number of partners here in Lorain County, Neighborhood Alliance, Lorain Metropolitan Housing Authority. We work with a number of different churches, Oberlin Community Services, to help deliver these boxes throughout the entire county. So what our goal is in meeting the needs, so over the last 36 years, we've been able to supply about 107 million meals within the community. Our goal over the next 4 years is about 41.5 million meals. It is a lofty goal. It takes a lot of work, and this is our 5-year strategic plan. But with huge cuts to the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, that number is going to have to go up significantly. And the Hunger Relief Network, the partner charities that we work with, are just not equipped to do that. In the last 10 years since the recession, we've seen almost triple the number of people coming to food pantries, and that number has not declined. Despite the economy improving, the same number of people are still coming to food pantries. And so the food pantries really are, maxed out to what they can do. So, increasing that number significantly will have devastating impacts. So these are some of our goals over the next 5 years. We're creating innovative solutions to address hunger. We're working with mobile food pantries. We're working with new partners. We are convening a Child Hunger Summit this fall to look at different avenues with which to address child hunger. We're evolving our community plan, and we're also raising funds, which comes back to, we want to give a shout out to Commissioner Kukowski in her role as our honorary chair for our Harvest for Hunger campaign. You can see she's there in the picture speaking at our kickoff in February, and she was kind enough to be a celebrity bagger for us last week. But this is a critically important campaign for us. We raise about 1 million meals this time of year to help restock the food pantries, especially during the summer months when we see a lot of families struggling because kids are out of school and they're not receiving their free and reduced lunches. So the need tends to increase dramatically in June, July, and August. So we appreciate your consideration of the SNAP resolution and how important it is to our community.
Thank you.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
I mean, just ridiculous. The current administration and what they're doing, these kind of things. I remember, I think it was the groundbreaking, I spoke with Representative Jordan there, and he was trying to kill it and said how important it was.
Yeah. And just the cost of it alone, trying to, instead of doing the SNAP and providing boxes for people, like the alternative idea of this is just...
Which is basically our commodity supplemental food program, and I can tell you that, how we pack these boxes, I mean, the amount of staff time is not covered by the stipend that we receive, and we use volunteers to pack all the boxes.
Right.
I mean, the cost per box could be, as much as $6 to pack these boxes, and then we don't deliver them directly. I mean, there's just an incredible
huge
amount
cost.
of infrastructure that would have to be...
Right.
It's just
So
not
it doesn't make-
possible.
And it doesn't make sense.
No,
It's
it doesn't.
ridiculous.
Well, I think it's important for everyone to know there's still time to hopefully make the phone calls and get the letters out, because I guess it's after their Easter break, after I think April 6th, everybody's supposed to be back, and I guess all the messages are that unfortunately it looks like a partisan farm bill
Yes.
that will be moving forward, but obviously there's not the strong support that's needed in there for SNAP and other initiatives, and so hopefully there can be a meeting of the minds. And I just, if folks only could see it, it's heartbreaking when you see how many families simply have anxiety every single day. We hear about it with the seniors all the time. And, I worked for a school district for a short time, and I can't, thank City of Elyria or City of Lorain for what they've been doing. I'm not sure if Elyria schools do it too, but they make, the lunch available to all the students. And I don't know anybody in their right mind who can get anything done. I don't know about you, but when I'm hungry, and I've got to eat, and I it's hard to focus or concentrate on anything else, and to expect kids to come in and learn, when they're hungry. And unfortunately, it's the only proper meal that some of them get, during the day. And but we have a lot of people, as your statistics show, that's very alarming. All these individuals who are hungry every day, and so it's something we need to take seriously and speak up about and call about and write about, and that's why we're doing the resolution here today. And I want to thank my colleague, Lori, for all that you've been doing on this initiative and calling attention to it. And so thank you for that. But before you leave, I'd like to know, did she do a good job as a bagger, or was
She
she
did a fabulous job as the bagger.
My new job.
didn't crush a bunch of eggs in the bag or anything like that?
Nope.
Although I think
the
the
bread on
Lorain
top.
Titan was the hero when he helped the woman out to get her car with her groceries.
Yeah,
but
yeah. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. I learned a lot during this campaign, and it is going on all the way until April, until Easter. So in Northwest, are they still matching dollar for dollar?
They do. In fact, Huntington Bank is matching Giant Eagle's contributions this week in the
Oh,
grocery store if you make a
okay.
donation in the grocery store.
So yeah, it's still time to give for those in need. So
And I can't think of the actress's name, and I should, but she's on the TV show How to Get Away with Murder and won an award for the movie The Help.
Yeah.
I can't think of her name, but I recently...
Viola Davis.
Yes.
Yes.
And I recently went to, I was sitting in an optometrist office and read an article, and she was talking about how she is very involved in helping to fight hunger across the country, and telling her own personal story about coming from a family where basically money ran out for food midway through the month, and literally getting scraps out of the garbage. And I mean, just, you know, she says that lives with her every single day, and she takes the issue very seriously and has been involved in advocacy to help families deal with facing hunger. So thank you for all that you do. You guys do amazing
They
work
do
over there.
Yes, you do. What an organization, and all the volunteers.
Thank you
we'll be
very much.
packing boxes tomorrow actually for the seniors. So I'm looking forward to that. Or tonight. Tonight's tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll be there tonight.
Madam Clerk, number 10.
Urge Ohio congressional delegation to oppose proposals in the president's budget that would force harmful cuts and changes to SNAP, and to oppose a farm bill or other legislation that would cut SNAP benefits or make other harmful changes to the program.
So moved.
Second.
Any further discussion? Mr. Kayla?
Aye.
Mr. Lundy.
Aye.
Ms. Kowski?
Aye.
Mr. Cordez?
I yield to council.
Mr. Ennis?
I have a couple of pending litigation things. They're probably the same thing Jim has, but if not, I'll need an executive session on them.
Commissioners report.
Well, Thursday, all three of us attended the Oberlin State of the City address at the new Oberlin Inn facility, which is a beautiful place, and actually the first time I had been there. Did a nice job. Friday, I had the opportunity to attend a dinner and magic show at the college. They have great acts at the Stocker Center and really great dining experiences, so go to their website and see what's coming up. You will not be disappointed. Sunday, the AFL-CIO had their spaghetti dinner at St. Francis Church Hall, and we had the honor of both Betty Sutton and Marcy Captor, who is a class act, were both in attendance, and Marcy just became the longest-serving woman in the House of Representatives this week, so congratulations to Marcy. She's been one of my favorites for a long time. Monday, Goodwill Board meeting. We have a new addition to our board. Mr. Cortez, thank you for taking the time to work with us on our new strategic plan that we're working on. And then also April 3rd, which is this coming Tuesday at 9 o'clock, we'll be doing our ribbon cutting for our new store that's opening up in Sheffield Lake at the corner of Lake Road and Lake Breeze at 9 o'clock. Be there if you'd like to come and see our new facility. And we had the last of our active shooter training that's been going on, and I just want to thank the Sheriff's Office for doing that for us and putting it on for us, and I'm hoping that this will not be the last of it, that we will continue to have some training because of the times that we live in right now. We need to have this at the forefront of our minds. So thank you to the sheriffs and everybody that participated. Had really good feedback from everyone involved. So. One more thing. Saturday, Rally to the Rescue at Midway Mall from 11 to 3 o'clock. There'll be pet adoptions. Our sheriff's department will be there with their canines, and they will also be doing child IDs, face painting, adoptions, and vendors, and a lot of fun. So come on out and support Rally to the Rescue. Now I'm done.
On top of all that, congratulations, Lorain FOP. Once again, had a very successful fish fry. Judy Nedwick also, the AFL Spaghetti is always a good time. And really, the Oberlin State of the City address was really impressive. They talked about, everything they're doing in regards to renewables. I mean, really a community that's moving forward. Love the city of Oberlin, doing a great job. And Brian Burgess, their council president, did a great job explaining everything going forward. So, end of my report.
Just like to start by sending out our sympathies to Mr. James Taylor. He's the owner of WJTV Radio. His mother passed away, Minister Annie Lou Taylor, at age 95. Just a good family. Know Mr. Taylor for a long time, and had a couple conversations with his mother over the years, and just a good family, and very involved in the community, and it's a big loss. I understand the viewing and the services this Saturday. Also wanted to say congratulations to the Lorain Titans on a good season. I thought the Lorain guy here at the table was going to get that, but okay. But yeah, played very well, and first time in a long time we've had a team here in the county go that far. I did want to say thank you to. Oh, flip us over, Jim. Could you flip us back to the?
Flip it back, sure.
Sorry.
He's filming you, it's just what we're looking at.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay. I did want to say thank you to our legislators in Columbus who came through big time for the county. A lot of projects coming back to the county. We had submitted for several county projects, and we received the good word, I believe it was on Thursday, with the House and the Senate coming together on the capital budget bill for the Recovery One initiative that we are working in partnership with the Lakota Way, Addis Board, Mental Health Board, and also the Nord Family Foundation. The state has agreed to provide $500,000. The board is talking about, we are committed to $200,000. The Nord Family Foundation is going to go to its board seeking $150,000. So $850,000 that will be used to help stabilize that building so that we can eventually begin stabilize the utilities so that we can begin some programming. We're now having meetings talking about the programming and operations of things, but still lots of work to be done. But it's great news to receive. We also received word we were approved for funding from the state for the Fire and Police Memorial, and want to thank the county administrator and everyone involved with that and putting that together, and my colleagues as well for supporting the initiative to transform the Golden Acres facility into a very importantly needed Recovery One center. The state of the city of Oberlin, very well done by the President and Council, Brian Burgess, and City Manager Rob Hilliard, which he was very complimentary of you, Mr. Cortez. He says he's really enjoyed working with you, and he's had a lot of good conversations with you. Congratulations, the FOP, on a successful fish fry again, along with Judy Nedwick. I think Friday I was turning into a fish after eating 2 fish fries. Loaded up on the carbs on Sunday with Kiwanis Pancake Breakfast in Avon Lake, always well attended there, and the Lorain County AFL-CIO Spaghetti Dinner. It was good to see Betty Sutton there, and didn't get a chance to catch up with Marcy Capter, but congratulations to her for all of her many years of service. In fact, as a reporter in Toledo, Ohio, all the way back in, I think it was 83, 84, I actually covered, I think, what was her first re-election at the time. And so I've known her and known of her for quite some time.
Yeah,
Yeah, she's in high school then.
Yeah, you're in high school. Okay. I know I'm the old one on the board, so was that an old person joke? Anyhow, the Avon Lake Dems hosted a judicial candidates event last night. I had a chance to stop in on that. I thought everybody did a really good job. And also, I guess, having lived in Elyria for 12 years, recently moving to another community, moving out to Avon Lake, I just wanted to encourage the Elyria School Board to certainly support a community school in South Elyria. I think that a lot of folks, when they came forward and voted to support a lot of the initiatives with the schools, we're expecting that to happen. So I think that, you know, we've got a very solid school board there, Kevin, Annie, Jim, Greg, and Michael, and I'm sure they'll continue to work on finding a solution so that South Elyria can have its community school. And would like to wish everybody happy Easter and good luck with your Easter egg hunts.
As it's snowing or raining.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Board correspondence?
Move the reading be waived.
Second.
Discussion. Mr. Kayla?
Aye.
Mr. Lundy.
Aye.
Ms. Kowski?
Aye.
Public comment?
Anyone wishing to address the board this morning? Come on, Jeff.
Good morning. Jeff Baxter, City of Elyria, 160 Burns Road. A couple of things this morning I was thinking about. I'm really glad to hear that the state has kicked in some money on Recovery One. That is a good thing, and I do want to say thank you for taking that on. And thank you to the voters of Lorain County for providing the tax burden that will take care of the county's portion of that. In Elyria, there's a private initiative that's going to put a recovery home, perhaps not as directly related to opioids, but down on Chestnut Street that is also going to help with that. In the paper recently, we've read about the Springer facility that they're talking about, perhaps at the soccer fields in Lorain. And I don't know if there's something that the county could do to help spur that along, if there's something you've already been doing to help spur that along. But that seems like a good spot to help with that as well. And I would encourage you, if you can, to do something to help that. At least inquire about it. Make sure that they understand that you're behind them.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? The second thing I want to do is tie into the second harvest. You know, we have a great pantry right here in the city of Elyria, right across the street, 244 3rd Street. It's the Elyria Hospitality Center. I'm a board member on that. I'm a weekly volunteer. I see people. I bag foods for people every day when I'm there. It's a great facility. Right now, we're serving about 450 families a month. In terms of people, it's hard to say because it goes from families of 2 all the way to families of 11. And it's amazing when you see people walk through there in the state of need that they are. Anytime you'd like to come over and experience that, let me know. I'll make sure that you get the golden tour and maybe can experience bagging food for others on a personal level. The last thing I'd like to do is pose a question. And in December we had a nice study revealed about transportation in the city, or in the county of Lorain. There was a public comment period that ended in January, and I'm just kind of wondering, did I miss something? Has anything happened on that? Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Anyone else? Come on up.
Hi.
Hi.
Again, I apologize for interrupting.
You're not interrupting. This is
Thank
your
you.
time.
Thank you. Don't tell me that because we'll be here for hours.
You get 3.
3 minutes.
Minutes.
3 minutes,
My name is Jackie Ellislager, and my family and I live in Lorain Township. I don't know if you need to know our address.
Do you have the actual address?
No.
No, okay, Lorain Township. So I just wanted to thank you, first off, for all the information that you had your wonderful assistant send me. It is helpful to be able to help the other families of special needs children in Lorain County. So I wanted to just thank all of you so much for listening to me the first time that I was here. The other thing is I wanted to make you aware of a send-off that we had on Friday for the Murray Ridge basketball team. They also made it to the state Final Four playoffs. Unfortunately, their fate was the same as the Titans. They did not come home with a win, but they were just beside themselves with excitement. So I just kind of wanted to thank the Lorain County Sheriff's Department, the State Highway Patrol, Elyria Post, Avon, Elyria Fire, Elyria and Elyria Township Fire, and LaGrange. They all sent fire trucks out, and the guys had no idea that this surprise was coming. So the look on their faces when they exited that building was made all the 24 hours of stress trying to put this together for them. Everything was worth it, and they just, oh my goodness, it was a very humbling experience for us who put it together for them to just see that little things like that really,
That's beautiful.
really do matter. They were very surprised to be escorted down Route 20 to the patrol station there on 20 by the wonderful State Highway Patrol and the sheriff. Lights and sirens were going all the way down to the post, so they were very happy. But I just wanted to thank you for your continued support of our special needs individuals. It's just a wonderful, wonderful thing. So, and please remember that April is Autism Awareness Month. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Anyone else wishing to address the board? Motion to go in executive session is outlined by the county administrator and assistant county prosecutor.
Second.
Mr. Kayla?
Aye.
Mr. Lundey?
Aye.
Ms. Kowski?
Aye.
This has been a broadcast of the recent Lorain County Commissioners' General Meeting. Unless otherwise announced, meetings are held Wednesday morning at the Administration Building, 226 Middle Avenue, 4th floor, downtown Elyria. These are public meetings, and you are invited to attend. Agendas are posted prior to the meeting at www.loraincounty.us. Click on Departments to see the Commissioners page, then click on View Agenda for a printable copy of the agenda.